Dragon Slayer: The Legend of Heroes is the 6th game in the Dragon Slayer line, but the first in the Legend of Heroes series. This turn-based RPG fantasy adventure was released in 1989, and later ported to many platforms, including the American TurboGrafx Super CD in 1992. You see that logo there? I think that is a great sign. After selecting New Game at the title screen, we are introduced to the cast, and then we find out there isn't enough space to save games. Well, this is embarrassing. You begin as Prince Logan, who has been in exile in exile. In a nutshell, his personal mission is to find who is responsible for releasing monsters upon the land, killing his father, the king, and eventually take over the throne and restore peace.
A fine morning to you, my lord.
That voice acting, cheese fest music to my ears.
I'll be back, Elias. I'll be back.
We are basically in a typical top-down view, dungeon/field/cave exploration game utilizing turn-based battles. The pad moves you in 8 directions, including diagonally. Button 1 executes commands, uses items, casts spells, and controls the message screen. Button 2 displays the command window and cancels some items. The menu here will not surprise anyone familiar with these types of games, but I have to say that menu speed, zooming in and out of sections, and the overall functionality is very easy to learn and quite fast. Anyway, in traditional RPG fashion, talking to everyone you meet is important. Sometimes they will give you clues on what to do, and sometimes they say nothing really of value at all. Most of it is text-based, but you'll often stumble upon an audio clip.
May the Seeker protect you and grant you safe return.
Talking to people in this game is just plain fun, and there are many personalities at play.
Take these gentlemen out to the docks and show them how we like our decks swabbed.
Characters will join and leave your party along the way as the story progresses. Speaking of, Dragon Slayer is divided into 6 chapters, and each has different goals, enemies, and scenery. Without giving too much away, you have things to do like revealing monsters in a town, finding a pirate's mom so she can berate him, finding a secret elevator, using dragon cloth to create a kite, calling a baby dragon to transport you around, and, well, there's much more. As for the enemies you'll encounter, some are running around in plain sight, and you can try and dodge them if you want. Oh, good lord. While some are not. When you bump into them, the turn-based battle begins. You got Prowler, Kill Toad, Sentinels, Stingers, Gremlins, War Wasps, Granites, tons of Granites, Sasquatch, Were-Rats, Petal Maws, Man-Apes, Goblins, Snout Pigs, Fire Knights. Yeah, there's a bunch. You could choose to attack, cast a spell, use an item, etc., taking turns with the enemy. You'll also notice different status icons showcasing battle conditions, and it's beneficial to learn their meanings. You can fight monsters in auto or manual battle mode, and literally select when to auto-heal, auto-cast spells, etc. This customization adds a lot of unique spice to the game. If someone in your party faints during battle, but the battle is won, that character will revive with 1 hit point, and you'll move on. If you choose to run from a battle, a little Pac-Man-like blue monster remains floating around the map, and you can re-engage the fight or just avoid. If you have access to the telelens, you can temporarily reveal all these blue guys sauntering around. You'll purchase, be given, or find other items along the way. You can only carry so many items and will need to choose wisely what to keep and what to discard. Thank goodness you can return to previous areas, because I missed the Seeker Orb in a cave and was able to warp back and get it later. You see, this orb is unlimited and invaluable as it reveals parts of the map. Some areas you cannot traverse until you complete a mission, or trigger it by just playing through the game. Also, a boss fight or 2 looms around, and most end each chapter. When you defeat a chapter, you get a little fanfare, and the next one begins, clearing all monsters from the previous land. I found myself grinding a good amount to get my levels up, but not nearly as much as in other RPGs. There is a wonderful and fair amount of humor scattered around, and the game never takes itself too seriously.
I hereby order you to release all prisoners slaving in the pits.
This clip before the first boss battle, well, listen.
I hereby order you to la-dee-da-da.
What? The game knows what it's trying to be, and I respect it for that.
You will need all the help you can get.
Geez, someone get that guy a lozenge, huh? There are various shops available, if they're open, that is, allowing you to buy items and weapons, equipping and swapping them around as the game moves on. At various points in the game, you can recharge everyone in your party, and these moments are nicely spread out. When you die, the game gives you an option screen to restart battle or return to town, so you never really actually die, in a sense. You can also save anywhere, which is nice as you don't need to look for save points. So you can continue right where you left off and be a hero at a later date. The graphics of Dragon Slayer will remind you of similar old-school games. They are colorful, cute, nostalgic, and the enemies are all interesting, varied, and well-drawn, although they do lack animation. Now, a lot of towns and areas start to look the same, and I wouldn't say the simplistic nature of the graphics are showcase quality, but it all works extremely well here. While the sound effects are very basic, the music totally makes up for it. You also can select all CD music if you're interested. That changes some of the tunes from this to this. But it also causes more loading times and forces the main CD music to keep restarting, so it's your call, really. You can also turn off the voice segments if you'd rather read them and not hear them.
Now return to the high and mighty minister and tell him I'll be coming after his hide soon.
Alright, calm down, Starscream. The controls are very solid. Your party moves around quickly and smooth. In fact, the game helps you a bit. I'm holding left right now, and notice he just goes bouncing up and down. The game often guides you around, which is kind of interesting. With this game, I have no real complaints in the control department at all. I became very addicted to this game and looked forward to spinning it up as I attempted a new chapter. It's also very fast. Even the CD loading times are quick and non-obtrusive. The negatives for me were few. Honestly, I wish you could see how armor/weapons, etc. will affect a character before they're purchased. The AI, when in automatic battle mode, is a bit bizarre at times on how it chooses to attack and in which order. And a few times, the back and forth got a bit tiresome. But those negatives aside, this game was very enjoyable to play from start to finish. There are many things to customize, some minor puzzles to solve, various mini-games, and more. Obviously, the story is the real heart of an RPG, and I found it to be charming, becoming much larger and more interesting as it went on. Ah, one hit kills. Feels so good. Dragon Slayer is a very simple, well thought out, well executed, and easy to pick up and play RPG. It is chock full of personality and unique areas to explore. I totally recommend it for anyone interested in a great adventure. If only the second one would have reached the North American TurboGrafx. Perhaps then we could have gotten voice acting cheese galore, Part 2.